chapter 6. In verse 14, he says, sin will not have dominion over you, since you are not under the law, but you're under grace. So two things. Number one, my sin is not imputed to me because I am not under the law and you are not under the law. Why are you not under the law anymore? Because you died to the law in Christ. You died to the power of sin in your life. You died to the law, meaning what? What does died mean? You didn't die physically. You were severed. You were separated. Why do you have to be separated from the power of the law? Because you could never go to heaven, and I could never go to heaven unless sin could no longer be imputed to us anymore. This is important. We get to go to heaven because God doesn't impute sin to you. Are we saying that sin doesn't matter? No, that's why we just spent 20 minutes talking about the fruit of sin in a life. Sin still matters, but not for your salvation. It matters for your fruit and reward in heaven. Because you have been set free from the law and from sin. There is no condemnation from God to you. You could go out right now and just flip off the world and tell them what you think of them, and it will not be imputed to you, but it will have consequence, won't it? The consequence will be those people won't like you. The consequence will be like, what sign were they standing in front of? We're not going to that place. So there will still be sin. The consequence in the eternity will be this. If you constantly, or if I constantly harvest, I should say sow and harvest bitterness in my heart, that I become that person, that I am bitter, it will be burnt away when I stand before the judgment seat of Christ. But you will be saved. That's what 1 Corinthians 3 tells us. That I can sow to the flesh. I can sow worthless things in my life. And I will stand before Christ and they will be burnt away. So if who you are, or if I should stop saying you, if who I am is a judgmental, greedy jerk, when I stand before Jesus, he will say to me, you are a greedy jerk, James. I love you. But you pursued this in your life, and that can't come into heaven, and now I'm going to take it from you. I don't know what it's like to have something ripped out of your soul, but I bet it's a very below average experience. And then he'll say, you're clean. You can come into my kingdom. And I will be so stoked to come into his kingdom. And when I walk into my tiny little shack, I'm just like, this is the best. I'm here. There'll be no covetousness. I won't be like, oh, how'd you get that mansion? That's incredible. I feel like I should have had that. No, there'll just be honesty. I don't deserve the shack. The shack is just from the blood. The blood of Christ got me the shack. I'm so stoked to be in the shack. Right? So we're moving away from this. He's just saying, look, it hasn't been imputed. So when chapter 7 we take up in chapter 7, this is an entire chapter that revolves around this concept, that you have been severed from the law, that your sin is no longer imputed to you, that's incredible, right? That is the love of God, that he says, I have devised a way through the life of my son, through his own blood that he would shed for you, so that there is a foolproof way so that you could be with me. In Isaiah, he describes it this way. He says, there's coming a way, a highway of righteousness. And he says, even fools can't err in it. I love that, because I'm a fool. And to know, like, I can't screw up salvation. This is so great. I could screw up my life, and I have. But I can't screw up my salvation because my sin is no longer imputed to me.